What is up everyone, Angry Grandpa with an interesting video. Today we're going to talk about the Battle Path Eclipse. We're going to talk about the tanks, the rewards, the grinding, the time spent, the input, the output, the shop, the missions, basically everything we're going to talk about, and obviously the upcoming, Battle Path, which I'm a bit, in between, but we will talk about that one in a different video. So let's get started. So Eclipse Battle Path, interesting Battle Path, one of the most, let's say, cursed ones on my behalf, because I wasn't able to play as much as I wanted. Was I disappointed? Yes. Why? Because I didn't have enough time to play. And why? Because the grinding is quite expensive. Firstly, from level 50 on, 51, 52, up to 60, when you're gonna get the main prize, one of the second most main prizes, or whatever you want to call them, the BRC Jaguar, which I told you guys that I will promise to get it. Well, I'm unable. I have to play at least another Battle Path to unlock all of these rewards, and hopefully we're gonna get a tier 10, but I'm not gonna go into, I don't have time, and I don't even spend more. It is too much to handle. But it was a pretty decent, let's say, Battle Path, quite expensive but decent. We got the tanks, the Flak Panzer Part 1, we got the automatic, which was nice, and we got the main one, the TOS 1 M Buratino. But we got also the Viper, Gajuka, Object 787. When it comes to the tanks itself, all of these 4 tanks from the Eclipse Battle Path quite shocked me. Especially, let's say, this tank, which it wasn't, I don't know, like, suitable for this game, but we sat basically and saw this tank in the game, and I was shocked, and I'm still in shock because it's a quite hard tank to play with, even though it might look or be sort of easy to play with, but it's not. The next one, it is Gepard, which I was really happy. Many players wanted to see this tank in the game, including me, and all the top 3 tanks, I made videos about it, and it got implemented in the game. Automatic, which is the, let's say, the daddy of B1 Draco, and it's interesting that we have him also in the game. Quite a big tank by size. It's very maneuverable. I was shocked also. But another tank that I was pretty impressed, and it comes up to your gaming skill in the game. Yes, in a Modern Warfare, some tanks requires a lot of skill, or at least so you know the map, you know the tanks, you know which tanks to engage with, which tanks to retreat. This tank can do a lot of damage, but it can do a lot of damage only if you use, let's say, the 220mm rockets, unguided, or the other ones. You have to choose wisely why you use the 220 instead of the other ones. When it comes to missions and so on, well, basically the missions are quite the same as for the past, I don't know how many Battle Paths. I really wish they will improve these and make them more, let's say, with more rewards and a bit more challenging for some players, because we have a lot of tanks now in the game. They can do a lot of damage in just one span. Like, you can do now 100k damage in just one mission or whatever. You can do 25 kills, 30 kills, whatever. You can do it. It's not always Sunday, but when you do it, it is impressive. And I think that some missions should be changed. And let's start with the MBT missions. It says deal 50k damage. I think that this mission should be done in, let's say, in 500k damage, probably. Put it like that. It might be too much, but let's say the rewards are not like these. It might be 3 times higher. And that's plausible, because players nowadays, they tend to do a lot of the missions. So the moment you do, let's say, the personal missions like deal damage 405k in the Marshishkin MBT, you can basically do this in the MBT and, finish the mission, and it will be dope. Damage deflection, deflect 40k damage. I think this mission should be done in just one match. If it is possible, it might be done. 40k damage in one match, or 25k in a few matches, or 20k damage block. Deal 30k damage while using heat shells, HESH shells, or ATGMs. I think this should be changed, and just put it like this: deal 300k damage using just heat shells, deal 200k damage just using HESH shells and deal, let's say, 500k damage using ATGMs, and you will have a multitude of options to finish the missions and also more battle coins, obviously. Let's go to execution. Deal 20k damage to immobilized vehicles, damage to player vehicles modified by 5. Dealing damage to immobilized vehicles is quite tricky, and it is a problem when you try to do this mission in, let's say, 2 matches or 1 match or 3 matches, because most players, when they see a track tank, they destroy it immediately. And when you track it, you just have a small chance that you can do, let's say, 500, 700, 1000 damage, but it's not obviously like this always, and you will probably need to do a few matches, 3-4 matches. I think this mission should be split between players. Let's say dealing damage to immobilized vehicles by you or your teammates might be possible, you know, and increase the rate of from 20k to probably 50k or 100k damage, and more battle coins reward actually the player to play more and engage more in the game, you know, like let's bring the players and make them play more, but giving them more also. Deal 10k damage to high tier vehicles, damage to player vehicles modified by 5. So it says dealing 10k damage to higher tier vehicles. I think this is basically nothing nowadays. It is pointless. Try to do at least 100k and all battle coins, or try to do damage to 1 tier higher than you vehicles. It will be much more interesting. So increase this one and also increase the battle coins. The leaderboard. I think finishing in top 3 XP ranking 10 times, it's easy to be done, and I will highly encourage just to be in the top 2 or just be the number 1, or just to have 2 missions in one bracket. You can keep this one in the top 3 and you get, let's say, 10 blue stars, or if you try to finish to be the number 1 always for 10 matches, and you can get more battle coins, more parts, or less fights, let's say 5 times if you get the number 1, and it might be easier for some players. The same it goes for LTAFV, the same it goes to TD SPG, but I'm a bit skeptical because MBTs are separate bracket. Light tanks and AFVs, I know there are not so many light tanks and plenty of AFVs. I will split this in 2 and introduce actually in the AFV missions using AT squad. I would like to see this mission, let's say some missions like execution, dealing damage using just AT squad, and making the freaking AT squad to do, I don't know, 20k damage, 10k damage. That will make the game pretty interesting and something that is not seen in the other games, tank games like. And this will make also the player to use more the AT squad, be smarter to note the map, positions, on which to target, how to target, and so on. It will make the player much better. Same it goes to TD SPG. Now in the game are plenty of tank destroyers that can basically, you can finish number 1 10 times in a row. You can do it, and even second experience and third experience. The mission is easy, do it now. Like, this needs to be changed. We have tanks like TOS-1M, Kinzhal, T-15 Armata that's been recently improved, you know, like you can do a lot of damage with these tanks. So my point of view, it is increase the mission, you know, requirements, the dealing damage, the blocking damage, and so on, and split it. Make separate missions for the SPGs as an extra bonus. Make players to use phosphorus to reset the base to get more coins. Try to do damage while you're not spotted, trying to capture a base or capturing points with an SPG to win the match. That will make the game more impressive and more interesting. As I said, something that is not in the other time games. Like when it goes to elite, the elite missions, well, here are like 50-50. When it comes to assistances in 10 battles, help allies deal 2k damage in random battles, 6k damage in global operation, or 8k in PvE damage. This, it is nothing. Try to add a 0 and more battle coins, obviously. When it comes to Colossus Destroyer, help destroy 100 high tier enemies. This one might be, let's say, changed a bit, because if you're using, let's say, T-15 Armata for all of the missions, most of the players, they use just T-15 Armata to finish this elite mission, or GAU probably. I think this should be higher, not 100 high tier enemies, but at least which is 1 tier higher than you, and that might make the players kill just lieutenants or higher tiers, or just play with tier 9 instead of tier 10. Destruction. In 10 battles, destroy help destroy 3 in random battles, 10 global operation or 20 PvE enemy vehicles in 10 battles. This is still hard because you not always manage to do 20 kills in PvE. When it's random, yeah, I know it can be done. Global operation, yeah, it can be done. But in PvE now, it's not so easy. There are plenty of players using very good tanks in PvE missions, and you don't always get a 15 kill badge, or at least 20. So it still is a good mission, let's say. Elimination. Eliminate 100 enemies. Each per vehicle elimination counts as 10. Eliminate 100 enemies, it's not much. It's nothing actually, because the moment you try to do these missions, when you go to challenges, you still have some other missions where you have to, you know, do it. So the moment you do the challenges, the missions from Elite basically will help you a lot. So 100 enemies are not so much. Also increase the missions, increase the rewards much more. In 10 battles, deal 5k damage in random battles, 15k damage in global operation, and 25k damage in PvE. This mission is hard to do, and I'm not joking, because if you're, let's say, in a platoon with some members, or just randomly, not always you'll be able to do 25k damage. Let's say if it is me and another player and another friend, if me and the friend we try to do all of it in a match, I might end up dying, let's say, and then another player gets some damages, and then the other one gets some damage. Yeah, and I'm not gonna be able to do 25k damage, probably just 22k damage or 21. The mission is still fine, only that for the random battles or global operations should be higher. When it comes to challenges, I think that 4 knocks should be increased, combat experience should be increased, destruction should be increased, headhunter on a silver platter experience should be increased. The rest of them, they're pretty fine, but they should also be increased. And I think that another section should be introduced, the one for the AT squad, because we don't have that one. And we can use the AT squad sniper missions, AT squad missions, mortar missions to make the game more interesting. And there are plenty of places on the screen you can add, what, like 4 more brackets on top and 4 down. So guys, bring it on, bring more missions and more rewards, and make the game more interesting. When it goes to the shop, it is honestly shit. Lately I've got nothing. I heard some players they got nothing also, and basically it is like this. The shop is dead and it's annoying. What the hell is going on? I think that's not so great. It isn't so great, the shop it is killing the players vibe, interest, energy, resources and time. The shop needs to be fixed. I think that all of these brackets that brings, let's say, a tank that gives you, you know, it's a premium the moment you hit 100 parts, battle coins bracket, the skin section, the base pen section and the premium tank section, I think should be improved. How? If you have already the premium tanks, just don't make them pop out again. It is pointless and it's annoying. I don't know how many times, but a lot of times. And just once since this battle path launched, I saw an upload and I didn't have enough battle coins to purchase. Plenty of, you know, those premium skins at 99.999 or whatever. It is a lot, or how much it costs a tier 10 premium skin. Also, battle coins at 100, spending 250 to get 100, it isn't, well, yeah, it's a Russian roulette actually. Pretty much this was about the battle path itself. I'm pretty, let's say, happy at a 50-50. I had to spend some gold in order to purchase the battle path shop offer of 50k so I can finish the battle path and to get the tank, the TOS 1 and Buratino. Being in the battle path that's quite expensive per level, it's time consuming and is discouraging for players. I mean, I talk with some that on the live stream, in private, on Discord, and they all complain, man, you know, I've got the battle path, I finished it and I quit playing until it comes the next one. That's not how a game should play. Like, you're not just trying to get the tanks, you have to enjoy the game also. And since they changed and increased the shop and whatever, reduce the shop drops and increase the rank level payment, or it is very annoying to see that coming out. Let me in the comment section, guys, what do you think about the Battle Path Eclipse? How did it went for you, for your friends, rumors, whatever? Leave it in the comment section. It helps the algorithm. And thumbs up if you like the video, and I really appreciate every support from each one of you. And see you next time in the next video.